Well, a good evening and good evening to all pro wrestling fans of all shapes and sizes from all around the world. Welcome to another Pro Wrestling Talk video brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I am your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. So, for this episode, I'm going to be reviewing WWE Heatwave Massachusetts that took place just last night in Lowell, Massachusetts at the Lowell Memorial Auditorium. So another NXT PLE. Pretty decent one. Could have been better, but not too bad. But wanted to get on here and give it a review. So let's go ahead and jump right into the action. Let me get my graphics up. Alrighty. Alright, let's get started with our first match. Alrighty, first match started off with the ladies as we had ourselves a triple threat match to determine the new number one contender to the NXT Women's Championship. Your competitors were Jaida Parker, Lola Vice, and Kelani Jordynne. A pretty solid match to open up this show. Went almost 12 minutes. But yeah, felt like all three ladies definitely looked great. Got in plenty of offense. And it really could have gone either of the three directions. Good solid performance from all three of these ladies. Really can't say anything bad. These three have been featured quite a lot on NXT, so it definitely made sense that these three would be fighting for the number one contendership to the NXT Women's Championship. But yeah, the action was great. Jaida Parker laid out Kelani Jordynne with a hypnotic, and then Lola Vice took advantage with the opening, rolled up Jaida Parker for the 1-2-3. And Lola Vice is your winner and your number one contender to the NXT Women's Championship. So she gets the next shot. So congrats to Lola Vice. Not the first time that she will have competed for this title, but she's now in position to challenge for it again. And word is that she will get her title shot at No Mercy. I believe that's what the word is that she'll get it at No Mercy. So that's the next PLE in September. I believe September 27th, I think I remember. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, so looking forward to when she gets her title shot. Okay, let's go to our next match. We're going to get into our first title shot, or our first title match of the card. Okay, we had the NXT Tag Team Championships on the line as the champs, Hank and Tank. That's Hank Walker, Tank Ledger, taking on two members of DarkState, and those two members ended up being Dion, Lennox, and Osiris, Griffin. Match was alright. It was a little over 10 minutes. Felt like it could have been longer. DarkState definitely had the numbers advantage because you still had the other members of Shaquan Sugars and Cutler James also ringside. So they definitely had the numbers advantage. But Hank and Tank did, mount a comeback later in the match. I felt like DarkState were in control for most of the match. But from the middle to the end, it looked like Hank and Tank were going to retain, especially after they took out the other members of DarkState on the outside and pretty much had left Dion Lennox in the ring all by himself. And honestly, after Hank and Tank did their double team finisher, their running squash, I honestly thought they were going to retain, considering They had already taken out the other 3 members outside, but they all got up, ran interference, and it was enough to get DarkState back with the momentum. And all of a sudden, Osiris and Lennox hit Hank with a doomsday device to put him away. It was Osiris that made the cover for the 3 count. And DarkState are your new NXT Tag Team Champions. So, I don't know. I kind of have mixed feelings about that finish. Only because it really looked like Hank and Tank had it. But then again, the numbers game. But it is what it is. And I'm pretty sure DarkState will defend those titles under the Freebird rule. I mean, it's 4 members of the group, so I'm pretty sure they're going to be defended via Freebird. So that's what I feel like we can expect. Okay. Moving right along, we're going to go into our next championship match. And more triple threat action. Check it out. Okay, so we had the TNA Knockouts World Championship defended on NXT soil. As the champ, well, the double champ of Jacy Jayne defended against Masha Slamovich and TNA World Knockouts World Tag Team Champion Ash by Elegance. Match was pretty action-packed. Lasted a little bit over 12 minutes. Of course, Jacy Jayne had Fatal Influence in her corner. Ash by Elegance had the Elegance brand in her corner. Masha didn't have anybody. So, I mean, Masha was pretty much on her own. And really it was really pretty difficult for her to even have a chance at winning. It was very action-packed. There were a lot of shenanigans. What I don't necessarily understand was, so the referee saw Jasmine Nix punch Masha. Then the ref ejected Fatal Influence. Yet, when the Elegance brand did the same thing and pulled off Jacy Jayne after she hit the rolling encore on Masha, clearly in front of the ref, the ref didn't kick them out. That didn't really make sense to me. But Jacy went for the cover. The Elegance brand pulled her off of Masha to break up the count right in front of the ref. I mean, they put their hands on her, so you would think they should have been kicked out, but that didn't happen. Ash by Elegance took advantage, hit a swanton bomb on Masha, pinned her for the 1, 2, 3. And Ash by Elegance not only brings the TNA Knockouts World Championship back to the TNA brand, but she is now a double champion. I have to say, I would have never thought I would see Ash by Elegance. Many may remember her as Dana Brooke, as a double champion. Yeah. Well, the only thing I can say is that at least the title is back on TNA soil, but Really? Ash by Elegance is your double champion now? Like, really? Well, I mean, yeah, it's not on Jacy Jayne anymore, but really? Whatever. I mean, the match wasn't too bad, but really? Ash by Elegance is your double champion now? Like, really? Oh, oh well. Guess it is what it is. Anyway, let's move on to our next match. Okay, next up we had the singles match between Jordynne Grace and Blake Monroe. Pretty solid match. Kind of started off a little slow, but ended up being a pretty solid match. Went almost 13 minutes. Was, a little bit under 13 minutes. Definitely got more intense later in the match between the two. It took a removal of one of the bottom corner turnbuckle pads that would come into play pretty much at the climax of the match. Pretty much Blake Monroe did a drop toe hold, which Jordynne Grace caught herself from landing into that exposed bottom turnbuckle pad, but Blake did the stomp, pretty much stomped her face into the exposed piece of the bottom turnbuckle, picked her up, hit her with a double arm DDT, then pinned her for the 3 count. Blake Monroe is your winner. Pulled a fast one on the juggernaut Jordynne Grace, and yeah. So, but I'm pretty sure it's not over between those two, but Jordynne looked pretty angry after eating that loss. But yeah, I definitely don't think it's over between those two. Okay, let's go to our next match, which I was kind of surprised that this particular match was so late in the card. Okay, you had the mixed tag team match where you had the team of Ethan Page and Chelsea Green taking on the team of Tavion Heights and Tyra May Steele. And now, just a FYI, Tyra May Steele was the female winner of the first season of LFG, and is an Olympic gold medalist. This match was alright. It was only 9.5 minutes, but like I said, I was really shocked that this was the semi-main event, that this match was so late in the card. Like, yeah, that was kind of weird. But, I mean, the match was okay, but, I mean, the numbers game got the best of Tavion Heights and Tyra May Steele. Of course, Chelsea and Ethan Page had the Secret Hervis in their corner. And while Tyra May Steele had some really good moments, definitely showcasing her abilities. And, her and Tavion Heights, I felt like they made a good team. I mean, very charismatic. I felt like they complemented each other well. So I'll at least give them that. It took a distraction and a super kick from Alba Fire to Tyra May Steele. Chelsea Green then follows it up with an unprettier to put her away. Goes for the 3 count. 1, 2, 3. Chelsea Green, Ethan Page are your winners. Not surprised. Like I said, not the best match, but it was alright. It was alright. That's all I can really say. And then the main event of Heatwave Massachusetts. comes down to the NXT Championship as the ruler, Femi, defended against Javon Evans, the young OG. Excellent match. Definitely went back and forth. A great clash of styles in this match. And saw a lot of counters between both of these competitors. I mean, hard-hitting, flashy, good dose of power, high-flying. Like, it was very entertaining. Match lasted almost 18 minutes, so overall, good time. And what it seemed to be like Javon Evans was about to pull this off, especially after hitting 2 cutters in a row, 2 springboard cutters in a row, covered Femi, but his foot was under the rope. And even though one ref counted 3, the other ref at the apron saw the foot under the rope, and therefore they convened together and agreed that the match continues. And then all of a sudden, Femi picked up Javon and he tossed him from inside the ring to the outside through the announce table. That was a nasty looking spot. Like, he just chucked him and he landed through the announce table. That was a crazy spot. And then went back out there, put him back in the ring, and finished him off with a fall from grace pop-up powerbomb. Pinned him for the 3 count. Femi, still your NXT champion. Javon came up just a little short. Ricky Saints came out afterwards to confront Femi, and looks like Ricky Saints wants that shot. But also, don't forget about Josh Briggs. He wants a shot as well. So they'll probably do something like maybe those two will battle it out to figure out who's the next #1 contender. Or they may do a triple threat match. I mean, Femi's done triple threat matches for the title on the line as well. So nothing new there. One other thing happened as well. So Ava announced that both the men and women's speed titles are now moved to NXT. Why? I mean, they already stopped doing speed on Wednesdays. So just why? Just why? Like, so let me get this straight. So that means now you have, let's see, NXT Championship, NXT Women's Championship, NXT North American Championship, NXT Women's North American Championship, the tag titles, the Heritage Cup, and now you're bringing both the men and women's speed titles. So you're going to have 8 titles on NXT. Why? Why? Oh my God. Not to mention, you're also having the dang on TNA title get defended on NXT as well. Why? Really? 8 titles? 8 titles on NXT? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Why? What? Whatever. Well, hopefully they can make it work, but I think that's a dumb idea, but whatever. But yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much all that I have. Like I said, this NXT Heatwave. I mean, Heatwave was all right. It was all right. They also announced, of course, No Mercy, Halloween Havoc in October. They're doing NXT Homecoming as well. So they got a couple of notable shows to look forward to. So at least there's that. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But that's all I got for this episode. Let me know what y'all thought of Heatwave Massachusetts, and how do y'all honestly feel about both the men and women's speed titles getting added to the NXT brand? So that makes 8 titles now on the NXT brand. I think it's too much, but y'all let me know what you think. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell while you're at it. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. For another Pro Wrestling Talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the YouTube, the Tube. My name is Jason Ingram. Hope everybody has a blessed day tomorrow, and I will see y'all in the next video and our live stream. Peace.